Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. This is my house right here. This is our garage. And today's video is going to look at ratios when you lay things out on your property. And what prompted this video is I have this Patreon thing where you can be a pledge to support my channel, and when I have a new patron, I like to do a personal hangout with them where we talk back and forth over video. And I was talking to Mark, one of my new patrons, today, and he asked me a question that I had never really thought about, and that was he's moving to the country, buying 20 acres, and he's gonna build both a shop first, and then he's going to move out there later and build a house. And his question for me was, how far should your house be from your barn? And I had never really thought about that. So today, this is kind of a Q&A, and I'm going to ask the question, and you can tell me in the description down below your answer. But when my wife and I moved to this property, house was here, the barn was here, and we immediately noticed everything was laid out well. The people before us had probably put some planning into, what is it? Is it Feng Shui or Feng Shui, whatever that Japanese term is for harmony. Everything was laid out well, whatever that is. I'm killing that word. But I don't know what the distance is. So right now, I'm going to step off. My stride is about a foot or a yard, 3 feet every time I step. And so we're going to go to my barn and see how far apart they are, because this is a really good distance. And then I want to get your opinion. If you moved to the country and had to lay out a barn, house, and everything, what was your distance? Okay, right to the front door of my barn is right at 30 yards, 30 steps, 30 yards. And so that seems perfect. Now, I wonder what considerations you should think about when you're trying to position your barn to your house. If you've got livestock like we have, right back over here is where the horses get their water, and so they hang out right here quite a bit. And some of you like horse smell better than I do. I don't really want to smell them. My wife likes them, and a lot of people really like them. I'm not one of them, but anyway, we want to be far away from the horses enough that we don't get the smell. So what's a good distance? Now, if this was a hog farm, I'd probably want it quite a bit further away, or a chicken barn. They're more aromatic. Cattle, to me, don't smell at all, but I grew up with them. So the question is, what should the distance be from your house, your living area, to your barn, number one? And number two, should you think about what direction they are apart? Our barn is almost, it's northeast of our house. So when you think about the prevailing winds in the summer, when you have windows open, or spring or summer, are coming from the southwest, that's going to take that smell right to our neighbor's house, which is right back of the woods there. He might get that horse smell. So do you want to position that way? And I think about the farm I grew up on. In the early days, everybody had dairy cows and goats and pigs and everything else, so their barns would be further away from their house. Our barn at where I grew up was probably 40 or 50 yards away from where our house was. But before air conditioning, you kept the windows open, but it was almost due east of our house. And in this area, we almost never get east to west winds, so we never smelled that. So a question to you today, in the descriptions below, this is a big decision, because once you've done it, you can't undo it. So if you're building, starting from scratch, how close are you going to put the house and the barn, and what direction should they be different from one another, and are there other things I'm not thinking about that you should take into consideration? Great question from Mark. I never really thought about it. My wife and I, we had 5 people in our house. Last of the kids is getting ready to leave to go to college, so we're thinking about downsizing a house, and I want to build a machine shed barn you can see from the space shuttle. And I think my wife is on board with it. We bought 10 acres down the road to move to, and that's our plan. So this is going to be personal here before too awful long, but right now it's for Mark, who's getting ready to build a building and wants to know where to position everything. Thanks for watching my videos. Welcome to my end card. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click up there. And here's a video that you might want to watch that Google has selected, and here's one I think is kind of cool. Thanks for watching.